So today we're just going to be chatting about these pricing tools. So ERA has four different pricing tools, part of the pricing analysis suite, and they're just designed to kind of help us with listings and help secure a listing, kind of help better price. As we go through them, you'll kind of get it if we're struggling with a property or maybe with a seller. These tools are kind of built to help us when we're getting a listing and as we have it. So you'll see all four of them here. So we have the absorption rate calculator, the pricing analysis grid, the saleability rating, and then the broker service to commitment. And I'm going to have to kind of go back and forth with this because I'm just going to download them, and then I'll kind of pull that up. So I'll be in Excel and stuff. But again, we'll be able to switch back and forth. So I'm going to start with the absorption rate calc. Okay. So what you're going to do is, because they are, I believe, maybe with the exception of the commitment to service, I think they're all in Excel. So it's kind of what's going to come up. So what I did was just absorption rate calculator and then hit download. And obviously it's going to just download to your computer. And I'm going to go pull it up. So I'm going to pull up Excel. And I think, Ashley, that, let me wait till it pulls up. You cannot see that, correct, Ashley? Are you still looking at, you see leverage? Okay, that's fine. I just need to, so I'm going to stop sharing and then reshare. And we should be good. So this is the absorption rate calculator. And what it does is it's going to tell you with the inventory how many homes are on the market and how long they'll last, essentially. So what it's going to do is say, your home is priced at 300. There are how many other $300,000 homes? Two of them sell a month, and let's say there's six on the market, two sell a month. So so the absorption rate could be 3 months, because it takes only two sell, and depending on how many on. So that's kind of what you're doing with this absorption rate calculator. So I'm going to try to fill out, I say as least as I can, so just so we can save time. So you're just going to fill out this. Obviously, if you're going to do this for a client, so you're going to be their name and full address. I'm going to keep it simple here, but current estimated price for your home. So let's keep it simple and just do 300. So and again, if you were watching or if you're going to do this yourself, I put 300 in, and it just automatically added a box that said 10% above, 10% below, because that's just kind of the average. So that 270 to 330 just appeared. So now what I would do would be just to go to the MLS and literally pull up, sort of just do a mini CMA. Like, how many houses are priced from 270 to 330 that are, not properties in the MLS? Because if my house is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, I don't care if there's a $300,000 piece of land. I need to make sure that it's, similar to my house. So, but a quick search isn't the worst thing. We don't need to do a full CMA through the MLS, but if we just kind of break it down, like, my single family home isn't necessarily priced like a 4-family or whatever, so just do that quick. And I'm just going to throw a number in here. I know our inventories are usually pretty low, but let's just throw in 10 just to kind of, have that example. So, and that one is the number of houses for sale in your area / price range today. So when you're doing this for someone, you estimate the price, how many homes are for sale, and then just quick do the same exact search that you just did to get 10 with how many sold. And I'm just going to say, let's do 4. You know what? And that's in 6 months. Let's do 3. Let's just, and again, this number is every single time you do it, it'll be different. Unless, of course, you do 2 houses that happen to be the exact same, but if we change this by $10,000 or, whatever number, you're going to see you could see a completely different number. So number of houses that have sold in your area price or are available today, 10. Number of houses sold in your area price range, and you want to make sure you do those exactly alike. So if you just went 270 to 330 single family homes, do the same exact search for how many sold. 270 to 330 single family homes. If you broke it down at all, we want to do the same search for both of those. So now when I'm going to tab this one because I just entered 3. When I tab, we're going to see everything just got calculated. So there are 10 homes for sale in your geographical price range in this market. The average number of houses that sell per month is 1. That means there is a 20-month supply in your area. So, and then the piece where we can kind of make this work is if that house could be priced at 280 and, or whatever number less that, or if they're fighting for 300 and you're like, man, that's a 275 home all day long. And they're insisting on a 3 number, that type of thing, then this tool can start helping you. So your probability your home will sell in 1 month, 5%. So if you kind of throw this number at them and say, wow, geez, like I know, and we are thinking as agents that, that this is kind of a higher, this listing price is probably higher than it should be or higher than we want it to be. That's when this kind of comes into play. It can also come into play if you guys, if you match numbers and you kind of know, like going into listing appointment, I can't say this thing's going to sell in a week. I can't say this is going to sell in a month. Like just because there are 6 other homes for sale that are very similar. So when a buyer comes in the market and they have 7 homes to choose from, I gotta make sure my seller knows that. So this can be a tool to, kind of, hey, look, we might want to be up in this 26% range. So if we come down to 290, if we come down to 280 in our listing price, we may have a better chance to sell because then, I want to put a $300,000 house or a very nice home. If I put that at a 280 price point, I might be the best 280 price home there is and then can sell quicker or maybe sell above, at that point. But, like folks look, so that's the idea too, is the different price points. Like if I have a really nice home, at 300, it's the same as 5 others. At 280, it's the cream of the crop. So it's kind of used in multiple cases. But like I said, if we're just going in with a, hey, look, we agree that, that 300 is our price. I still want to show you this because I'm going to be working my butt off, but we have competition. We have, there's 10 other homes on the market that are similar that I don't know what someone wants. Yours is all updated. You have an updated kitchen. Well, maybe someone else wants an updated bathrooms or something, like we just don't know at that point. So this is literally just, you see how simple we did it, two calculations, or 2 numbers from the MLS to kind of figure what what's happening in the market. And then everything else just calculates. So you can do this. I've done this before live in front of someone. And it's like, well, let's see what the numbers say. Or obviously, if it's not going to work for you, maybe do it prior. Like, do I want to show this or not? We can kind of use that as a tool as well. And then, we can go back up here and kind of make this look super attractive that, that there's only 2 houses on the market and 3 have sold. And now you know, that can be maybe a good number to talk to them about. Like, hey, look, we got a, you know, we're limited inventory. I think we're priced right. Our house is, you know, in good condition. Maybe, you know, maybe doesn't need much or anything. You know, and then the numbers, you know, then we only have a 4-month supply, depending on what comes on the market after this. But we have a, you know, we got a good shot of selling in, you know, we're above 50% in 3 months. And of course, obviously could sell, you know, could be the one that goes quick, but just a good, you know, just a good page, one pager to kind of have to add to your arsenal, where, you know, we talk a lot about showing value and you know, why should I hire you? And, you know, I don't know anybody else that's walking in a listing appointment or having a conversation with a seller that's pulling out an absorption rate calculator. You know, certainly not one that does the calculations for us, and it takes us 2 seconds to do. So, so just definitely wanted to show you guys that. And I'll pause for a second. Any questions?
I have one.
Sure.
It has the ERA logo on there, which is lovely, but I'm trying to like click on it. Is there any way to like delete that if we want to put our own logo?
You know what I would do is maybe get a hold of, well, you downloaded this, so I think if you
It's
like,
like the
so
one thing I can't click on.
yeah, I wonder if there's a way to just cover it. But one thing I might do is reach out to Erin Laban
Mm-hmm.
and just ask her, like, hey, is there a way that, you know, someone on your team could just send me a copy of this with our logo? And
Okay.
I don't know if she would, but that might be something we can do.
Um, what's her last name?
Laban, Lban.
LB?
Oh, I'm sorry, Leban. Jeez.
Oh, well, I mean, it could be LBAN, you
Yeah,
know,
no, no, I was
weird
like,
or
oh yeah,
not.
that's it. No, it's
No.
not it. um, let me just quick see if I'm sure I have her. It's just Erin Laban. It's ERIN LBAN. Erin.Laban at teamera.com.
Perfect.
Yeah. And she's great. So, I mean, if it can be done, or if she says, oh, you could just update your, I'm not, you know, but she's really good. So I think she'll be able to help.
Okay. Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Any questions on the absorption rate calculator? It's
Super
pretty
cool.
self-explanatory, but obviously if you guys do, or even come up with one the rest of the session, don't hesitate to reach out. I'm gonna switch back to the pricing analysis suite. So now I'm just going to click the second one. We're going to do the kind of the same thing. I'm actually going to skip to the saleability rating. So this one's the last one on the page. I'm going to hit download again. And once you guys do this once, like, they will be on your computer. So what I would do would be, you know, if I did one for a client, 123 Main Street, I would do a save as and then label it, you know, whatever. And then, you know, once you download these, they're on your computer. So that save as will keep that original one. So you don't have to come into leverage each time. If, you know, store them somewhere on your computer, and you'll know that you know, they're there anytime you need one of them, or make a copy of it and just always have a blank one, but whichever is easiest. So now saleability rating. So I'm going to pull that up. Let it load, and then I'll switch over again. So now this one again opens up in Excel. So this one is, you know, this is for that seller that, you know, the first one, home protection plan. So we have the American Home Shield warranty that ERA is partnership with. You know, so basically what it's saying is you're going to fill this. You're just going to, obviously there's 18 things. You know, are you offering a home protection plan? So if the answer is 0, it's 0. But let's say we are. Oh, sorry, I gotta enable editing there. So let's say we are. I just put a 3 in there. And that's the seller and the buyer. You know, if it was just a buyer protection, that's a 2, obviously, if they weren't going to do it. And now I'm just going down through this and going to answer each question. So financing terms, could it be owner assist? Obviously, what this is doing is, buyer a home protection plan might increase the ability to sell, because a buyer might be like, hey, look, there's a warranty. Like, we don't have to, we're not going to have to worry about this or that. So I might be more inclined to pick this house than 234 Main Street. So owner assist, I mean, that's rare for, a regular single family home, but, let's say that at least it qualifies for FHA, because not every house does. If it needs a little work, then, it's only conventional, but let's leave that there. And then I'm going to kind of just throw numbers in here, because when we end, we're going to kind of see what this does. So terms of listing, hey, give me some time to sell it. So, sometimes if they say, well, I just want a 3-month contract, and you're like, man, I want a 6-month, because I need some time to get this thing going. So 90 days, like the ability to sell, obviously they can go elsewhere, but the ability to sell with me might get cut down. We just did an absorption rate where it might take 4 months to sell just because of the inventory. So like, what's 90 days going to do to me if I happen to fit into that? So, but let's just to play devil's advocate, let's just say they did they said, nope, 90 days, that's it. So, and then again, all the way through, percent above active. So every one of these is giving you an opportunity to have a conversation with a seller. So, hey, if we're like too far off the expected price, and then the next one, what is the activity in the price range? Is this a hot market? Is this a $600,000 home? And man, like it takes, it just takes months and months to sell a $600,000 home. I could sell, we sell $150,000 homes. That's a hot market. That's the right, the buyers are all over the place for the $150,000. And then, property condition. Not that we can, maybe always do a whole bunch, but, can we go from good to excellent by painting a few rooms, or, doing a few things that, may not be huge cost, things, and then just, and then days on market. So these are both some data from the MLS, like, hey, what is the days on market? And then also, hey, set Mr. and Mrs. Seller, you got to give me something here. And sometimes they're like, I don't want to sign in the yard, period. I just don't want to sign in the yard. So I'm not going to pay attention to these, but just knowing that you guys are understanding it. So I'm just going to fill these in just so we kind of get to the end. And it won't even let me put in the wrong number. So, and then we come to this, like something like the sign yard or the yard sign. Like, no, I don't want a sign in my yard. It's like, man, that affects me being, like more folks seeing it and things like that. But let's just say, nope, they said absolutely not. And we're like, all right, market location, that's just us. Is it in an area that we can't say that, but if it's in an area that is questionable or whatever, that's so, but let's say it's in a good market, hey, I want possession after. Man, that's going to hurt me because these folks want to buy it and move in. So these are really just getting our minds going and having this conversation if needed with a potential seller. But let's say they can get it right in pre-ordered appraisal. Well, that doesn't really help them very often, but no contingencies, access for early showing, available for an open house. Again, that's a point. It's only a point, but it's a point. I don't want an open house. My neighbors will come through, but man, I might be able to sell it at an open house, but they said no. Gold Star, so that is a thing still with ERA, is you can kind of qualify the property as a Gold Star along the lines of a distinctive property. Let's say it's not, and let's say we're strategically priced. So now we're at, I did that. I did it quick, but obviously if you were doing it with a client in whatever those answers were, like I came up with a 21. So it's like poor position, less than 20% chance to sell. Now our conversation goes to, hey, let's go back up here and see what we can do to make this more attractive, to the competition. So, all right, I'll let you do a yard sign. I'll let you do an open house. I mean, we're doing it slow, but now we're up to 23. And it's really just a matter of, some of these, like, I did competition in the area, I did average. If it was weak, look, we can't, like me, we are the sellers, can't do anything about it. If it happens to be in the area where the competition, like, man, you're the only listing, or there's only 2 and you're in good shape. So if you had the ability to change this to 3, we're getting up. So get to 25, we have a good position. So, and then from there, it's just, you can't make it up, but if in the pieces where, that you can update, hey, if you can get the seller to do an appraisal up to date or whatever, and that was to be able to be a 3, we're just building our chances.
What was the Gold Star property thing? You'd said
it still does exist. So it was the original. So you can, if the property, it's along the lines of distinctive properties, but it's for any property you have. So if you're taking professional pictures, if you have a great description, if you're priced right, then it will, you can qualify it for gold property. I'd be surprised if it's still in, I think it's still in leverage. So I think it still exists, but I haven't really talked about it in a while. So I'm going to do a little research, and I'm going to tell you if it's still a thing or what the criteria is now. But it's literally just a button that you mark, and they determine if it qualifies to be a gold property. So in the sign store, they have riders that say gold property, things like that. In one of the things is that it has to have a home warranty.
Gotcha. Just being worth 3 points if it, I mean, that's
yeah.
curious to know if it's really,
So
I think I've heard of it, but I've never even
done anything.
Yeah.
You want a higher score, not a lower score.
Yeah, you want a
higher score. Yep. And again, some of them, if the house is, if we could do something to the house to have it better qualify for conventional, that's great. But if we can't, we can't. So,
Wayne,
yes,
is this thing we can add multiple things to? Like, let's go down to the buyer's agency fee, since I can't see if it's on there or not. If they're willing to put a buyer's agency fee on this.
Yeah. I mean, if you're, if you're offering a buyer co-op, should be worth 5 points or, something. So yeah, I'd be curious. I'm actually going to make a note, and I'm going to reach out to Aaron myself and see if they're looking at updating this, because something like that's a great idea. Something like that could definitely fit into the points strategy for sure.
So you can't add boxes, but you could edit, like I could change the Gold Star property 1 to paying a buyer's agent. So but you can't add, right?
Yeah, and then it's just a matter of if there's, so when so if you changed Gold Star to
paying buyer's agent.
Buyer co-op. I don't know if you change this to to a 5. Like if I try to put, or maybe it's still just worth 3, but I can't put a number in here that isn't 4, 3 or 0. Like if I put 4 in there, it gives me an error code. So it's just a matter of maybe the buyer code is worth 3, but it, because 3 would make a big difference. If I made this 3, now we're at 31. Look at us. Excellent position to sell. So it might just play in, or you can just you can just change that and kind of make it your own, save it, and then you guys have your own copy, and then you share that one, Ashley. Like, hey, this
Yeah.
is the saleability rate that we're gonna use.
How did you change that? You're the error code, did you?
Well, so on the like, yes, so where he has,
So say we're gonna change this from the paying buyer's agent and you wanted to change. Right now, if you put a 5 in here, you're gonna get that error code, but if you click on this box. And then change that to a 5,
It'll let you do it without the
It'll-
error code.
it'll let you, yeah.
oh,
So, and maybe you don't change the numbers, you know, it just depends. Like, I think the buyer's it's worth at least a 3 having a buyer co-op. So you wouldn't want to change, you know, whatever, easy access for a showing, you know, and just have it be worth 1, but maybe
Well-
3 would be good, because 3 makes, I mean, it made a difference. It put us, you know, from good to excellent position to sell.
yeah.
Would that not put that number over 100% though, if you start messing with those numbers in those boxes?
It
I
would
think-
if you, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think anything from 30 above is just stays in excellent position. Like, it won't go over, like, it won't go over 100. It's just get to 30 and you really have an excellent position, you know, you're in an excellent position. And, you know, again, anything we do, the absorption rate, this isn't like, hey, we're in an excellent position. I'm not guaranteeing we're selling, you know, but man, we've done it. We've done everything we could. We priced it right. Now you've allowed me to put a yard sign in. You've offered a buyer co-op, you know, whatever it ends up being. So we've again put ourselves in an excellent position. So now I'll do my job. But, you know, if I can't do it, you know, if I couldn't have a yard sign and you're not offering a buyer co-op or whatever, you know, you're hurting me. But with what you've offered me, I kind of have all the tools I need to kind of see if I can make this happen. I love it. I love you downloaded it, so it's completely or you know, whatever you can do to it to adjust. So I like the idea of just maybe swapping out that gold star or whatever, and, you know, kind of making it your own. And the calculations would stay the same even if you just change the heading. So, and and this is one that I mean, I guess if you know, if you had a sheet that kind of had the score on it, but it's kind of nice to do live, you know, with them, or say, hey, I did this based on our conversation, but I have it here. You know, if you offered a buyer co-op, you know, and put, you know, allowed me to put a sign in the yard, or maybe if you painted those 2 rooms, I think we could be considered excellent rather than good, you know, whatever. And maybe, you know, maybe even like that property condition, poor, good, excellent, like maybe it's poor, good, very good. Like, excellent's kind of a hard word to, I mean, some houses are excellent, but some are just, hey, they could be very good and still, you know, be better than good. So, but
if you talk to Erin, will you ask her if there's, I mean, I might just need like copy and paste, I don't know, but I don't want to mess with it, but if there is a way, say we wanted to actually add boxes, say we want to have 23, you know, or just curious if we could come up with.
I'll definitely ask her about it and kind of
Okay.
see what her thoughts are on adjusting it, adding to it. If that's something they would be willing to do and then send it to us, or if we add it, you know, can the numbers still make sense with the calculations behind, you know, behind the boxes? I guess that's the biggest thing. So,
And now interestingly, on this one, you can click on the logo and delete it, and then you could insert
okay.
like our company one. So
Okay, that's interesting. I'll just ask her about the logo as well. So I know you took her, I'll just ask her about that for those, plus adjusting this,
Thank
plus if we come up with anything else as we're going. All right. Any other questions on the saleability?
no, I don't. Does anyone have any questions? Whitney, Jane, pipe in if you need
Yeah,
something.
please. If you're listening in outside of the office and have anything, unmute or type, you know, put anything in chat. All right, well, let's go to the next one. We're actually going to do the pricing analysis grid. So same thing, going to download that. All right, Jean says she's good. And then we're going to open up the pricing analysis grid. Again, this is in Excel.
Kaylin say he was gonna get on here.
He's with a bunch of TV.
Well, that is true.
Okay, so this is the pricing analysis grid. So this is 100% where do we want to be priced? And this is when, you know, hey, we're, you know, I say 250 and the seller says 280. And you're like, all right, let's do this. So I'm gonna just do it quick to kind of put some put some property in there. But as you see it, you're gonna. So I'm gonna just do 1, 2, 3. Oh, geez, enable editing. So so first one recently sold. You know, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 and I said we're at 250. So this first one's going to be 250. And then I'll add one more that's 2, 3, 4. And it is 245. So that's kind of, again, that's what's sold. Now what's for sale. So again, we're just going to the MLS, you know, kind of doing a CMA. So let's do 3, 4, 5. And this one is 260. And then, obviously you're putting full addresses in here, but we're going to do it quicker. And let's do this one at 252. So far, kind of what's out there and, you know, what's what's sold and what's for sale. And then let's do some expireds. So, and again, you do this, and if it works for you, then you bring it with you to do. You know, if it didn't work, then they're like, all right, maybe you're right. So we'll keep going with the awesome addresses here, 5, 6, 7, and let's say 270. Now these are expireds on the bottom, and 6, 7, 8 was 282. That's my CMA. So I did a CMA like, hey, here's what's for sale. Here's what's sold. Here's what didn't sell. Now just look at the bottom and sold range. You'll see for sale range is blue and did not sell is red. And I've done this before. So I've done this and is meant the more addresses you can put in, the better, but whatever data you have. I've put an X by, you know, where they want to be, which I would put an X like right here. So, you know, for sale, I'd put an X right here. Like that's where you want to be. And I would flip it over to them and go, put an X where you think you should be priced. Where should you be priced? And it's, you know, this is the market right here for your same house. And you want me to be priced out here, and look what else didn't sell. So that's the idea. This one's kind of simple as well, but it can be powerful, you know, like I put an X here and like, sir, ma'am, whoever, like Mr. and Mrs. Seller, where would you like to be priced? You know, and I've done it. I remember doing it twice, and one of them did like right here. They kind of come over a little bit. And then one just said, you know what, the heck with it. Let's go right here. And kind of the top end of what's for sale, even though it's above what's sold, but it's still close. So again, this is kind of, if you do it and it looks like this, and sometimes it does, because it's like, you're not 280, nothing is sold for 280. You know, that's similar to yours. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you're probably not going to be the first. And, you know, and if they see this, it's just maybe another way to have a conversation about like, well, we should be, man, at worst case, we should be like, you know, between the blue and the red, but, you know, being way out here, you know, similar houses haven't sold. And, so it's that simple for this one. So it's kind of a shorter one, but any questions on that? Any thoughts?
I do. Would you include pending sales in just the ones that are for sale?
Yeah, I would probably put them under for sale just to say, hey, look, this hasn't closed yet, but so I would get as much data as I could. If your market, like similar to where I sell, I know the appraiser goes back 6 months, or whatever range, but I could go back a year. Like our market doesn't, man, we're not crazy. We're not up 10% and then like the next year. So I can go back a year in my market and know that the stats are pretty close. So if you know that, hey, this type of house, it has an increased crazy price, it's not going to be worth, a magical 300 next year, whatever. Then if you go back a little further and you can grab a couple more solds or a couple more expireds, and like, oh, this is still true data. I'm not just going to do it just to fill out the form. But the more houses, the better, to kind of, get your point across that 280 or whatever that number is that they want, probably won't work. Or if they start there, if they start at 280, I'm the one that says, look, I'm going to give you 2 weeks or I'm going to give you 30 days max. And I'm the one that flips a price reduction form in front of them. It's predated for, 2 weeks from now or 30 days from now. Like, hey, if we're still on the market and we've been doing everything we can, we're going to reduce it, back to where it should be, something like that. But at least you're having this conversation. You're letting them know, like, we're going to be overpriced. Nothing sold there. So again, it's just another talk point. It's another value prop in my mind, like just because even if you did this and you were on point, like handing another form in there, like, hey, I did some more homework, I still think we're good. I think we're good. Like we're right in the range. These can be all lined up, or you could be priced right in this range and be happy about it. But if you take 5 minutes, whatever this takes, 10 minutes, and hand this across to them, hey, look, I just want to let you know I did a little extra homework just to make sure I don't want to be overpriced. I think we're good. We're kind of matching up, and we have a chance to show them that we kind of took an extra step to help them. So it can be used in trying to reduce a price, or maybe just as a value prop, like going above and beyond.
When you do talk to Erin, if you could ask her if it would be possible, or if we have the capability to add like another table and then the line down below of pending one. Just, I
Okay.
know sometimes I like to show people like, here's what's sold, here's what's on the market, and hey, it's been on the market for this long, and here's why it's still on the market, and then here are the ones that have gone under contract.
Yep. Yeah, I'll ask her if that's possible, for sure.
Sweet, thanks.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions on this one?
Web link.
Oh, the web link, sorry. Do you ever put a web link on there, or what?
I guess you could if you were going to
Oh, now
fill
we
this
can't
out
hear.
and then maybe send it to them.
Where did you?
So
That's weird. All of a sudden our volume just went away.
oh gosh.
No,
It's definitely up.
blue button on top there, just turn up the volume.
Well, that would be the, yeah, hold on here, Wayne. All of a sudden we lost, but I think I can go like this. And then. How about now?
Can you hear me?
Ah,
Well, we'll get you through. Now, all of a sudden you went, our sound, the normal sound you come through, you went away, but can everyone hear him through here?
We just have one more. So I mean, if you guys can
the web link.
handle
Oh,
it.
and what did you say about the web links? Do you ever put those on there?
So if you were going to if you were going to kind of fill this out and email it to them, then putting the web link in there, because no doubt, You know, my house is so much better than 5, 6, 7, you know. So if you if you're able to have the web link to the house, to the, you know, to the listing, to some data about the house, that's kind of what that's for.
Okay.
But if I'm filling it out right in front of them, I'm kind of just, you know, I'm not going to bother doing the web link. But if you were going to fill it out and email it to them, then it'd be like they could
Oh,
click
yeah.
the web link and
Yeah.
kind of see the house and like, oh, okay, it's similar to mine, or it's this or that. But you know, a seller is just like, my house is much better than, you know, all the other ones. So but yeah, you could fill that out.
Hey, and then the commitment to service, that's what you're doing next?
Yeah, yes, yep. So our last one will be,
We actually have to have this signed for every seller, so.
oh, no way. All right, well, I'm gonna pull it up, but I'm curious, like, I kind of want to hear you guys. I've never heard someone do that. So I think it's excellent. It's like a no-brainer. That of all 4 of them, this is like,
It has changed.
It has,
There was
it's way different
14
than
of
the
them
one
on there,
now.
so they took a lot of stuff that was repetitive out. I
Is
just went
this-
through it.
Different, so the one that's in our dot loop, is
It's
it,
way different.
it's the old one?
Yeah,
And this looks actually.
this one's cleaner.
Okay, I'll tell Josh to update the,
This one, you actually have to go in and fill out days down in the bottom of the
Yeah.
stuff and,
You're gonna have to sit down and talk to them on how many times you want them,
yeah,
they want you to call on and.
it's not filled out now.
wow. I love it. So so I don't need to explain it to you. Well, I did hear you guys say this one's, you know, an updated one. So I, you know, love it if you use this, but obviously I don't need to explain it to you. Tell me, so all the agents know about it and absolutely need to have it signed. And you're using it like it's a huge value prop. Like, oh, I'm nervous about, you know, signing, or I'm nervous about signing for 6 months, or, you know, like there's so much in here that just can put a seller to rest. You know, if I'm not doing my job, fire me, that, you know. So, but I'm curious, I'm gonna shut up because I want to kind of hear, you know, why you guys put this in place, and then like kind of how the agents do it each time, I guess.
so I think Josh and my mom, I mean, saw the value of it long ago, but I wonder if it's a form that we really go over, or if we kind of just send it along with everything else.
I go over.
So then, Case, speak to like, how do you talk about it?
I tell them that if I don't follow these directions, that ERA will have no problem with them firing me. I mean, that's the reality of it, because these are ERA standards.
To them.
Yeah, it's a franchise standard, not just our office standard.
That's good. That's a good
Yeah,
way.
yeah, and it's true. Like, you know, how many times, you know, does an agent, you know, get the listing and then just not do something? You know, communication. You know, not take professional photos, not take, you know, enough photos. You know, so really, I mean, if you just were to look down through here, the synopsis is, you know, here's what we've talked about. If, you know, and then one of the pieces is if you get a hold of me and say, hey, I need 5 more photos, or hey, you haven't talked to me in a week or whatever, I have so many days to fix it. So, you know, so you call me up and say, hey, you know, I need new photos. And, you know, all right, so I didn't do my job on photos. I have 7 days to fix it, or 3 days, or whatever. And if I don't, you can fire me. Like, so it's not them just getting grumpy, my house hasn't sold. So it's not them just completely being able to fire you. It's, hey, here's what I've said I would do. Here's what here's what I'm doing. I'm doing it all. I'm contacting you. And it's like, how do you want to contact? Like, can I send you a text? No, you want to, I want you to call me. So, so it's just, you know, it can be split up. I've seen folks, write something in there and both initial it, like, well, you're going to also do this. So, but the idea is here's what I'm going to do to start, to get it listed, in contact after, and et cetera, et cetera. If I'm not doing it, I have a period of time to fix it. If I don't fix it, you can fire me.
Wayne, do you know when they revamped this?
It was it's been a bit since this one's been done. I want to say, maybe Sue, it's been a while since it's been updated. So I definitely think you guys should, stick this one in there. I mean, it's essentially the same, but this one's a little bit more protective of the agent. It's not, you can just fire me. It's like, hey, I promise to do this, this, and this. If I don't,
What
you
I
can.
got on it is it took out a lot of the repetitiveness from the other one. It also removed the select services stuff, which is great because our area, we don't get to use the select services program like you guys do back east, because we don't have a lot of those companies out here.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm not sure the other one isn't, maybe not, but isn't 2 pages or something. So
It was
But it
Is it-
was a whole, like it, I
It
mean,
had 14 items on it that we had to go over, and like I said.
Oh,
there's a couple
okay.
of them that apply to our area.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably another reason why they redid it is folks that can't commit to something that they don't have access to. So but yeah, so I mean, I love it. I would definitely love it if you guys were to update this, but
I just sent it to Josh, so he'll get it in our dot loop and
yeah, good. I'm glad we at
talked
least,
about it at
it was
sales
on
meeting.
our agenda to talk about, even though you guys have been using it, but now you'll have an updated version to use. Anyone that wants to, before it gets into, into dot loop and ready to be, kind of done that way. Obviously you can just download this, and if you're heading to an appointment, just start using it. But, obviously just make sure you read through it a few times. And so when you get to that person, but the talk track's also important. I would never want to say, if I don't do my job, you can fire me, because technically my job is to sell your house. So I don't want them to think, well, if I don't sell it in 2 months, you can't just fire me, because I'm doing all of these things. And this is what I promise to do. My job's to sell it, but this is what I promise to do. And if I don't, including, a market strategy, or you can add, whatever. So. All right. Well, that's
Yeah.
what I had for today. So, any other questions on this or any of the other?
anyone? Bueller? Okay, I think we're good.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Well,
Bill.
I'll get a hold of Erin and just ask her about all the things, and then as always, let me know if anyone has any questions. I'm available anytime.
Thanks, Wayne, and I'll get with you on the dash stuff.
Yeah, I'll be back Friday. So like
Okay.
I'll maybe Monday or Tuesday we can just connect and make sure I can get in, and then I'll just play around in it for a little bit and be able to update some stuff for you guys. So
That works.
awesome.
All right.
Thanks
you.
everyone. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Bye.